Well, welcome to another edition of Motor Cars Enthusiasts. Right off the bat on today's show, Tesla back in the news, and it's a good news, bad news situation when it comes from the group out of California. The good news is really good news. For the first time in Tesla's existence, they actually turned a profit, and it's a pretty significant one. You think of all the year of 2016, this company lost somewhere around $700 million. And then coming up into the year of 2017, they did a lot better when they only lost somewhere around $400 million. Now, just for the third quarter of 2018, this company actually made a huge turnaround and had an operating profit of over $400 million with an ending net profit of just a little over $300 million, which is fantastic news. Now, the trick is this something that's going to last? Is this just because the bottleneck that was in the production nightmare they were in with the Model 3, now that all these Model 3s are apparently getting out into public's hands, is this something in the fourth quarter numbers are going to look as good? And it's going to be real interesting just to see what their end of year numbers are going to look as well. Now let's get to the bad news. The Wall Street Journal is actually reporting that the Federal Bureau of Investigation, aka the FBI, and the Department of Justice, aka the DOJ, is actually investigating Tesla over reports that not only Elon Musk but the company itself kind of fluffed the numbers, the production numbers of not only the Model 3, but also every other vehicle inside of their lineup, that apparently they were a little more generous about how many cars were getting out the back door rather than actually telling the true numbers. Now, the trick is, what's going to happen with this over the next several months is going to be the real interesting point, and we'll see if something big comes of this, or if the investigation ends up saying that they were telling the truth the whole time. Well, time will tell, and we'll definitely let you know what we hear. Next up on the list, let's take a peek at this. The 2012 Aston Martin Vanquish. Now, why are we looking at a vehicle that's going on, 5-6 years old now? This is an interesting situation, at least in my mind. Aston Martin apparently has sold all the design work and the tooling to an undisclosed company. So, some company out there somewhere could all of a sudden show up at an auto show with a car that looks exactly like this because they own all the rights and all the parts and pieces to this particular vehicle. So, what is going to be the vehicle? Is it going to be some EV startup, a Chinese company possibly coming in with this machine? Or there has been some reports that thought that maybe even Zagato bought it. You know, Zagato has done a ton of one-off and handfuls of Aston Martins where they basically redesigned the entire vehicle. Could they be coming out with a bespoke vehicle that's all their own very, very soon? So we'll definitely keep you in tune of what we hear. Hopefully that information of who bought this will come out very, very soon. Next up on the list, well, unless you've been living under a rock, McLaren finally showed off the Speedtail. This is the top of the tree when it comes to the Ultimate Series. Now the trick is we don't know a whole lot more about this particular vehicle other than the little tidbits that McLaren has released just as of now. So there's going to be a whole lot more information coming out about this machine over the next several weeks. But what we do know is this. This is the spiritual successor to the McLaren F1. Even using up that iconic 3-row seating, I guess not really calling it 3 rows, but it got 3 seats inside of the machine with the driver sitting dead stick in the center. In fact, McLaren had to totally redesign the actual carbon fiber tub for this particular vehicle just to actually put in those 3 seats. Also, this thing is fantastically long and doesn't look racy at all because it's made for top speed and grand touring. This is a vehicle that you would actually take maybe a trip in rather than actually going for all-out lap times like you would in a McLaren Senna. The car's got a bunch of very cool tech inside of it, including no rear view mirrors inside of the vehicle. It's just got cameras on the inside, which is sadly the situation that might be the real end, that this car will not be coming stateside, as this vehicle is not legal as far as those cameras are concerned instead of having actual rear view mirrors. The vehicle is entirely made of carbon fiber. It's actually got soft carbon fiber sitting out back where actually it will Think of it kind of like the Pagani Huayra, where it's got those movable winglets. This actually has it out back, but it's actually the carbon fibers made just to bend in the back of it, which will come up and down depending on your performance needs. There is no word as of yet of just exactly what's powering this machine. We're assuming that twin turbocharged V8 is going to be involved with a hybrid system involved as well. The vehicle supposedly makes 1,030 horsepower. They're talking about it going faster than the McLaren F1 at 250 miles an hour. The vehicle's fairly lightweight and only 3,153 pounds. They only made 106 of the McLaren F1s in its different variants, and that's exactly what they're going to build of this particular machine at a starting price of $2.2 million US. Now, the trick is the top of the tree of the Ultimate Series. That 106 units are apparently all spoken for. So if you kind of wanted to get your grubby little mitts on one of these, it is way too late as far as that's concerned. So we'll definitely learn a whole lot more about this machine over the next several months, and we'll definitely keep you in tune of what we hear. And last up on the list, if you haven't seen this particular machine as of yet, this is a pretty fantastic piece of kit from the folks over at Hoonigan and Ken Block. You know Ken Block from his Gincana series. Not only have he done a lot of rallying, in fact, he was in Rally Spain just this weekend. In fact, got a pretty bad ending to that particular event. Also, the huge Gincana series. He's also done the Rallycross series as well. And the trick is, for this latest Gincana video, they designed an entirely new vehicle. Now, basically, this is a tube frame, somewhat rally car, but draped over top of this gorgeous 77 Ford F-150 bodywork. Now, the heart of the beast is something pretty interesting. It comes with a 3.5-liter twin turbocharged EcoBoost V6 out of exactly the one out of the Ford GT racing at the 24 Hours Le Mans. Now, this particular engine makes 914 horsepower. Obviously goes through a sequential gearbox. The vehicle is all-wheel drive. And it's going to be very interesting to see this next Gincana video. In fact, the first little teaser that we're going to get of this comes out November 16th of 2018. And then every week thereafter, there's going to be another little snippet of the Gincana video all the way up till its final release, which will come out December 7th of 2018. So, cannot wait to see this little vehicle in action. In fact, if you want to head over on the Facebook page right now, there's a teaser video about 11-12 minutes long, and there is one little shot of this thing in action. It looks pretty doggone epic, so I cannot wait for that Gincana video. This truck is pretty awesome. And that's all there was that I thought was worth talking about for this edition of Motor Cars Enthusiast. Don't forget to like us over on the Facebook page. Links down in the show notes. Also, if you'd like to subscribe to the channel, you can do so at any time. The first dibs on the brand new shows as soon as they come out. And obviously, there was a little snafu when it came to the auction situation. Had a little problem with old Motor Cars HQ's vehicle of choice. Had a little brake issue, so ended up not making it. So there won't be any videos coming out at that event at the Mecum auction. That'll be coming out very soon. So sadly, never made it, but it is what it is. We'll see you again real soon.